Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of Adventures with Peps. We are painting Judge Cassandra Anderson. As you can see, she's already painted black with a heavy overbrush of white to get us ready for the speed paints. So Judge Cassandra Anderson is a member of the Psi Division of the Justice Department of MC1. She is a Psyker character. We're going to start off with blood red for the gun. This is a quick step, so I'm just going to tell you a bit more about her. So, like her namesake from antique myth, that's a weird way of saying it, she has psychic powers in addition to being able to sense approaching danger and foresee events of the near future. She is also a telepath, which allows her to read other people's minds and use mental attacks. As a young child, her abilities attracted the attention of the Psi Division, and they have trained her to tackle crime. Up next comes the Cloudburst Blue, which I use for the judge's uniform. I like my judges to have the blue bodysuit as opposed to a black one. I'm saving the black bodysuits for the SJS models. I just feel like they need to be darker, meaner versions of your normal street judges. So they're going to be that little difference in colour suits just to help them stand out that little bit more. So yeah. This is an easy step. It's going to be working my way around the legs, onto the body and the arms, and just take my time to get this done nice and neat. Now, Judge Anderson has quite an exciting story. She appears initially when she goes up against the Dark Judges and helps Dredd in fighting them. She also becomes the prism for them and spends a lot of time trapped in Bong, the magical plastic material. It traps Judge Death inside her head, and it basically entombs her. And then she's written out the story for a little while until Judge Death escapes, and she's brought back to fight him with Judge Dredd. This obviously takes a lot of toll on her, and we get some spin-off stories with her where she deals with her day-to-day life, and we also meet some of the other side judges that are struggling in Mega City 1. It's not a happy life being a side judge. They obviously can sense and feel emotion. They can see what's going on in the world around them. They're, for want of a better word, a lot more sensitive than your common judge, and this leads to a higher suicide rate within their department. Having lost a very close friend to suicide, she decides to leave the Justice Department and does a tour of the galaxy and gets her own little spin-off series. During that time, she meets Orlok the Assassin, and they form a friendship of sorts. Oh, we've lost the camera focus. I hate that it does this. Yep, what? Come on. There we go, we're back. Yeah, and they have a mini adventure. I highly recommend reading her case files if you've not seen those comics. She brings a completely new and interesting viewpoint to the world of Mega City 1. And these adventures that she has in the wider galaxy are a lot of fun to read and very insightful. She has some great stories that deal with religion and sci-fi ghosts. Alice in Wonderland is also dealt with, deals a lot with, I guess, childcare as well in some of the later strips, and child abuse. They're dark stories, but given such a weird Mega City twist, they're very enjoyable reads, and I do highly recommend them. Now I think we got a couple more dabs of blue to put in, and we should be done with the Cloudburst. This is a great model. You can tell it's Anderson before you've even put on the blonde hair. I would have loved to have seen a short-haired Anderson, but I guess this is, like I said, it's meant to be post her off-world adventures, and when she comes back she usually has long hair in the strips now. The early Andersons definitely depend on artist, jumped back and forth between design ideas. A lot of them had the lead singer of Blondie as their inspiration for her. And then in the later strips, they go a bit more whammy-pammy. And I don't know, she's all over the place now. I don't think she has a set design anymore beyond the blonde hair. So I grabbed the pallid witch flesh, and I'm just going to lighten up some areas that I want to look a little bit brighter. Her face being one, and then I'm going to do a quick dry brush over the hair as well, just to help lift up that colour. The next step is Grim Black, and this is purely for the Lawgiver. Now normally I use a dark grey to represent weapons, or a light grey, depending on what I'm doing. But the Lawgiver is iconically black with the little red light, so I've definitely got to do it that way. So this is a nice quick step. Got to be a little bit neat and tidy, otherwise I'm going to lose the red light. And I've just got to cut around the glove, keeping it nice and clean. This time I'm using a normal hobby brush rather than the shade brush to put the contrast on. I just wanted a bit more control over what I'm doing. I want it to look neat and tidy. As always, this is a quick and dirty paint job, but I want to be neat because at some point when I go back and highlight everything, this will just save me time if I've been neat now. Now we're grabbing the Zealot yellow, and we're going to catch the belt buckle, the shoulder pads, and obviously the chain and badge on her chest. Don't know about you guys, but I love these speed paints. I know I rabbit on about them a lot. The fact that I can paint this model in probably around 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and have a decent tabletop standard that has given me the base coat, at least on every model that I've done now, is wonderful. The fact that I'll be able to go back and do highlights and make stuff look nicer at a later date is just wonderful, because A, it lets me do these videos quite easily, which I'm enjoying, but it also allows me the freedom to, if I'm in the mood to paint and obviously not record, I can grab one of these models that are base coated and I can just work on highlights and shading and just add in extra layers so that when you come back and watch a video with them in at a later date, you'll notice that I've done extra work on them. So the Blood Pack are a fine example of that. I left them for months just with the contrast paints on, and then I slowly went back to them and highlighted everything that was red, went in over the blues, brightened up stuff, and now I think they look really great. But obviously you don't see that stage on here, but it's just something that just keeps the hobby fresh for me. I get to do these and they look great and I get to play with them, and then a few months later I can do the highlights, I can do the shading, I can have personal fun with the models. I just noticed I missed a little bit of blue on the arm, so I've gone back to fix that. And while I'm doing that, I'm finishing up the yellow. This is probably a good time to say like, comment, subscribe and all that good stuff. It really does help me out. And if you're on Instagram, make sure you stop by my profile. I've created a purely Judge Dredd channel that you can join and follow along. And every time I post a Judge Dredd picture or make a comment, it will automatically notify you of it. Now, it's not something I plan to go heavy into. Maybe 1 or 2 posts a week to begin with. See how people engage with it. But it's just a good way if you're purely interested in Judge Dredd and not anything else that I'm posting on Instagram. You can follow that and you'll only get bothered by my Judge Dredd posts. Up next is the Crusader skin. I think we all know where this is going, but we are going to hit up the face. I'm going to try my best to avoid the eyes, but chances are it's going to flood in, and yep, it did. Okay, we're just going to fill the face in. I was going to try and do some eyeballs today, but it's not happening. So we'll just do a normal wash in the face. Now, I'm going to be honest, Crusader skin tone is not my favourite. I'm using it because I'm just trying to use all army painter today. but I think I prefer the Reichland flesh shade from the Games Workshop contrast range. I have not used all the Army Painter paints. I know they have a lot more flesh tones out at the moment now, and I'll probably have to try and pick up a set, but my money is going elsewhere at the moment. But here you go. We've got the yellows done, the blues are down. I think next we'll hit up the green, or maybe a hair. Not entirely green, yep. We're gonna go green. This green really pops. I love it. It's pure comic book green. It's over the top. It's not a green I would personally use on an orc. I think it's way too bright. But I do think for these judge models, it is the perfect shade. And we're gonna carefully do the glove that's touching her hair. Try not to run into the hair or the yellow. If this runs now, it's going to be a pain to fix. So I'm just taking my time. Camera's lost focus again. I gotta set up this camera. I keep using autofocus, and I think I need to set it to manual and just be brave and try and record a whole episode on manual focus. The issue I have there is that you have to try and stay in the same field of depth. If I drift out, it will go blurry on manual. Whereas this one, at least I can fight with the autofocus. And maybe only lose it for a few moments. If I was a good editor, I guess I could edit out those parts. But hey, that's part of the fun of these videos. I'm not perfect. These models aren't perfect. If you're watching them, you're probably not perfect either. That's why you enjoy them. And we can all be imperfect together. Right, we'll probably skip forward a little bit because there's only so much green painting you can watch me do. And we are back. There we go, the green is all on. Whoop. It's goddamn autofocus. There we go. The green is on. You can see what I'm up to now. Next step is going to be, I forgot what color this is called. Let me read the bottle. It is a sand golem. I'm using this for her hair. She has blonde hair, but I'm not going platinum blonde. Giving her this sandy, blonde, dirty hair, I guess. Seems a bit more realistic than the platinum blonde. It's got a bit more of an earthy tone to it, which I like. And then we're pretty much done at this stage. We'll take some pretty pictures and end up for the day. But yeah, I think next 2000 AD model I paint is going to be another judge. I think it'll be a judge with Widowmaker, the actual Widowmaker. And then after that, I might do some slain models. I've got a bit of a slain backlog happening. I have seen that ABC Warriors is out. I'm not entirely sure if I'm taking the plunge on that set. I want to, but it's Christmas time. Money's a bit tight. I've got 2 kids to get Christmas presents for. So if there's any funds left over, that may go towards a little Christmas present for myself. But yeah, you know the deal. Life gets in the way sometimes, and that's just how it goes. So I'm going to sign off here. Remember to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Enjoy the photos. Drop me a comment. Say hi. And I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers for watching.